Okay, so I want to welcome us to our analysis for today. Today is Friday, the 25th of October, 2024. We're trying to reach out to others to join us, so we should get more people very soon. But then we just have to continue. Others will join us, you know, uh, in some few minutes. So we'll look first at the fundamentals, then we'll go over to the technicals to see what the market has in stock today. So currently I'm on Forest Factory, and this is a fundamental aspect of this analysis. Um, Earlier on in the night, there was Tokyo core CPI yearly, which was good for the Japanese yen. And this morning by 9 a.m., there will be German IFO business climate from the Eurozone by 9 a.m. Now, it's a medium impact event, but I will still look at the impact the effect rather that it may have on the market. Later today by 1:30 p.m., now the core retail sales and retail sales from Canada by 1:30 p.m. That will be volatility on the CAD, the Canadian dollar, and it will happen simultaneously with the core durable good orders and durable good orders from the United States. And later today, for the for GBP, that will monetary policy reports hearings is tentative, so no specific time has been allotted to it yet. But then by 3 p.m. later today, there will be revised UOM consumer sentiment. All right, so I'm just giving a rundown of what we have today. But then for this morning session, we'll focus on just the euro because, as in from the fundamental, because that's the only tradable fundamental event we have for this. So we check the euro pairs for what the market has in stock on the fundamental side. Then we'll look at the technicals also. So for this German IFO business climate, if the actual comes out greater than the forecast, we'll look at buying the euros. And if the actual come out less than the forecast, we'll look at selling the euros. So whichever way the market goes, we just trade in line. But then we'll look at the technicals to have another perspective to it, which can give us a clearer direction on what to expect. So I'll flip over now to my to my MetaTrader, and we look at the euro pairs. Now, the major euro pair we'll look at definitely is the euro USD. And from all technical angles, euro USD is really getting ready for a massive bullish breakout. I mentioned yesterday that we're expecting a breakout on the euro USD. Whichever way you want to trade it, either as a day trader or a swing trader, it's ready for a breakout. It has broken out yesterday above the upper trend line. RSI is clearly above 50. But the important part of this analysis, which we need for the news this morning, is because Euro USD was coming from a support level. It's coming from a support level. All right, you can see that price clearly hit a support level. So that gave us a bullish movement yesterday, which eventually turned into a bullish engulfing candlestick. That's another confirmation of a bullish direction. And so I have two reasons for looking at buying the Euro USD. One, support. Two, a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. Then thirdly, is that we have a confluence here, trend lines meeting with the support level and the bullish engulfing candlestick. So technically, we're completely right to look for a continuous bullish movement on the Euro USD. So if the news by 9 o'clock comes out good for the Euro, then we're looking at buying the Euro USD, and that's our direction. We're looking at buying the Euro USD if the news comes out good for the Euro. Or if the news comes out bad for the Euro, for me, I may not bother because yeah, it will sell. Price may sell back to the previous support, but then it's expected to still reverse later on. Now, I use the word expected. We don't control the market. That's the maximum that will happen. It may just drop a few pips and still reverse. Either way, it may sell. It may be very short term or may touch. I'm not saying it's a guarantee or a must that you touch the support if it comes out bad. So since we are not too sure how far it may go, I'll just be looking out strictly for an opportunity to buy the Euro USD. And that will only be if the news comes out good for the Euro. So if the news comes out good for the Euro, actual comes out greater than the forecast, then we'll look at buying the Euro USD. And that's my view for the fundamentals we anticipate for this morning by 9 o'clock. And I think that should just be a major trade call for the Euro USD. Other pairs, yeah, there are other Euro pairs, but I think I'm more comfortable with this. All right, let's look. Okay, let's take a look at the Euro JPY just in case. Now, in case the news comes out bad for the Euro, we may look at trading the Euro JPY, not the Euro USD. If it comes out bad for the Euro, we may look at selling the Euro JPY. And here is the reason. Euro JPY, hit a support turned resistance a few days ago with a rising wedge up there on the daily time frame. So technically, we're looking for an opportunity to sell the Euro JPY. I'll flip down now to 4 hour. Okay, you can see that we have a rising wedge pattern, which is a bearish, reversal pattern. So if the news comes out bad for the Euro, we may look at selling the Euro JPY. That will be very much in line. So if the news comes out good for the Euro, buy the Euro USD. If it comes out bad for the Euro, sell the Euro JPY. So that's my view for the fundamental for this morning. Now, on the technicals, to be honest, the market is extremely very quiet this morning. We don't really have much setup for technicals. But what we have are actually swing setup, which may take some time before they, really move. But then that's what is available. We don't have any intraday setup for this morning. Except, let's see if we can get something out of the GBP USD trade call. All right, we may have something on the GBP, though it's a swing, but we can still get something, we can still squeeze something out of it on the intraday if there's enough volatility to push that. Now, GBP USD, I said we are bullish. I've mentioned this since yesterday. We have price trending up on the daily time frame, and we expect continuation. We also have a falling wedge. We expect a continuation there. And on 4 hour, we can see it's a falling wedge pattern. And it's not forming something that looks a lot like an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which is expected to trigger into the bullish direction. It's expected to trigger into the bullish direction, all things being equal. Now, if we flip down to 1 hour, we'll focus more now on the inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will trigger up. So if there is sufficient volatility today and price if there's sufficient volatility today and price is able to make its way up above this neckline region, okay, that's a bit far. I think we should look more towards this region here. If price is able to break out above this second shoulder, then we may look at buying the GBP USD. Yeah, we have an inverse head and shoulder pattern with a falling wedge. Coincidentally, that level is actually Fibonacci 50. So if that is going to be the region where we'll have our entry, then we may be looking at setting our take profit at Fibonacci 61.8 at about 17 pips and Fibonacci 78.6 at about 43 pips. So between 17 and 43 pips can be taken on this if there's sufficient volatility to drive price up. That's the condition, because there seems to be a lot of quietness in the market this morning. But if there's enough volatility to drive price up, you can catch between 17 to 43 pips on the GBP USD. So we're bullish rather on the GBP USD on the 1 hour. Now, another GBP pair that might experience some volatility today is the GBP card. And this volatility will be more from the fundamentals. Now, this is the GBP card on the 4-hour time frame, and this is a very clear case of a symmetrical triangle, and price has actually broken out upwards. Now, you know the rules of symmetrical triangle. If price breaks out upwards, it's a buy. If price breaks out downwards, it's a sell. But now price has clearly broken out upwards. Should we take a buy now? The answer is no, we'll wait. Reason is this: there's going to be a news by I think 1:30 p.m. from Canada. That'll be core retail sales and retail sales from Canada by 1:30 p.m. I'm flipping to that on the screen. You can see we have core retail sales and retail sales from Canada by 1:30 p.m. All right, so that makes this instrument an instrument of interest for that news. So if by 1:30 p.m. the news comes out bad for the Canadian dollar, then that will lead to a bullish breakout on the GBP card. I'll repeat that again. If the news comes out bad for the Canadian dollar, that will lead to a bullish movement for the GBP card. Now, currently, I'm seeing GBP card also on this for our trying to form a inverse head and shoulder. Price may drop further, before the breakout happens. But don't forget that the breakout will be triggered by the news. It will be triggered by the news. So what I can advise we do is this. We can just wait for price to break out above this shoulder, this second shoulder, the eye of the second shoulder. We can wait for a clear break, which will be triggered by the news. Anything can happen between now and 1:30. Price may drop further here. If it drops, it's still completing the inverse head and shoulder. But the main break will be when the news is released by 1:30 p.m. If the news comes out bad for the card, then that will trigger a massive bullish breakout on the GBP card. And when that happens, we may target the highest resistance level here, or the highest, the most recent high rather. That may be our profit expectation or profit target. And that can be as much as about 100 pips, all things being equal. So let's exercise some patience on GBP card and wait till the news in the afternoon. But I'm bullish on this instrument. We've been bearish all week long on USD CHF, but the guy has refused to break out. Will it break out today? Well, let's wait and see. There's news, there's dollar news in the afternoon. If the volatility, you can see it's been ranging. This guy has just been ranging all week. It's been ranging all week. Anytime price breaks out below this support, it will be a sell. Now it's looking like it's trying to form something like a head and shoulder. It's not clear though. It's not clear, but that's what I'm seeing. This is looking like a head, but this is not really a shoulder. It's too flat to be a shoulder. But either way, whether it forms, I always say it, sometimes the pattern may not form, so we don't get completely on the patterns. If we see it, it makes our work easier. But if you don't see it, we just trade a breakout. So we're ready to break out, to trade a breakout on USDCHF anytime it breaks out below this minor support zone. So we still retain our bearish outlook on the USDCHF. And we still retain our bullish outlook on the AUD/USD. We're expecting the breakout on this one too. Been on this since yesterday. Been on this one since yesterday. So whenever it breaks out, we're ready to take a buy on the AUD/USD on 4-hour. It's also a confluence point. We may look for an early entry. Let's flip down to 1 hour and let's check 15 minutes. Nothing much on 15 minutes. 1 hour seems to be a little better. So for day traders, we may look for a faster breakout. Okay, somebody said my screen is not showing. Oh, sorry about that. Can you see my screen now?
It's okay now. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, sorry about that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So if you want to look at the Euro US, sorry, the AED US on 1 hour, this is the view for the 1 hour entry. We have a valid support right here. So it's not a falling wedge this time around, but just look for just the trend line breakout. May have a quicker breakout here on the 1 hour if the market presents such, because this may evolve into it's trying to let me say it's trying to evolve into a double bottom, which may trigger a bullish breakout. But whenever price breaks out above this trend line, you can trigger a buy on AUD USD on 1 hour. Now, it should be noted that today is Friday. Volatility may not be as much as other days of the week, especially in the afternoons. So we have to trade with a lot of caution. So we're bullish on the AUD USD. And I think finally the New Zealand USD is another pair where we're expecting some bullish breakout. It has a falling wedge also, just like the AUD USD. So we'll be waiting for a bullish breakout on this one also. All right, so that'll be all from my end this morning. Like I said, market is really, really quiet today. Then let's hope for some volatility to peak some few pips here and there. So I'll do a roundup of the analysis I've done so far. We've analyzed the euros because there's going to be a euro news by 9 a.m. And I said if the news comes out good for the euro, buy the euro USD. And if it comes out bad for the euro, sell the euro JPY. So that's the analysis for the news for 9 o'clock. Then for the GBP USD, we're bullish on it on 1 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour, but I'll prefer you stick with the 1 hour for today, because of the volatility in the market that is low. And for the GBP card also, we're bullish. Though for the GBP card, we are going to wait for the news by 1:30 p.m. from Canada. There's going to be retail sales from Canada by 1:30. So if the news comes out good if it comes out bad for the card, they'll be looking at buying the GBP card. I'll repeat that. If the news from Canada by 1:30 comes out bad for the card, we'll be looking at buying the GBP card, because GBP card is on a symmetrical triangle, but it has broken out on the upper side, and we're expecting an inverse head and shoulder to trigger the bullish movement. We're bearish on the USD CHF if there's enough volatility to break out downwards. So we're looking for a bearish opportunity to enter a sell on the USD CHF. And we're bullish on the AUD USD on 1 hour and the New Zealand USD on 4 hour. So that's a recap of my analysis for this morning. I'll turn to the questions. So Kayla is asking me to check USD JPY and the USD card. This is the USD JPY. Now, most of the JPY pairs are actually on a downtrend, and we are bearish on the dollar. So it's just in line. We can see that the USD JPY is trading around a support turned resistance. So technically, we should still be looking for an opportunity to sell. But what I'm seeing on the 1 hour, let's flip down to 1 hour, is this. I think this is trying to form a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, then a drop. That's what I think is happening to the USD JPY. So I will advise you trade it with caution. Don't say, oh, it's going up, let me take a buy. It may reverse on you. So trade it with a lot of caution, while I will personally be looking rather for an opportunity for a bearish breakout, taking this region as my neckline. Then price may go up, but I expect a reversal for a sell on the USD JPY. So next I'll check USD card. Now USD card is doing its own thing. I've been watching this instrument since yesterday. At the point yesterday, it was trying to form a head and shoulder head. This should have been a second shoulder and a decline. It may still happen that way, but then let's be more practical with what we are seeing. For me, I see price trying to approach this resistance level on the daily time frame. This one right here. And it actually came very, very close to it. So we'll take that as the resistance. So we flip down to 4 hour, we can see it's just at the tip of that resistance. So my focus may not completely be on the pattern, but the fact that price can reverse at a resistance level. So I will draw my trend line here and draw a second one at the back to form a rising wedge pattern. So I'll be looking for a breakout right here to look for a sell on the USD card. Now, this also will be triggered largely today. If there's going to be a major trigger, it will be the news from Canada in the afternoon. Now, if the news from Canada in the afternoon comes out good for the card, if it comes out good for the card, that would trigger a sell on the USD card. Again, if the news from Canada in the afternoon comes out good for the card, we'll still look at the news from Canada by when we have the analysis by 12:30. I'm just giving you a heads up based on the question that is asked. If the news comes out good for the card, then USD card will sell. Don't forget we said that if the news is bad for the card, GBP card will go bullish. So those can be your two positions ahead of that news. If it's good for the card, look at selling USD card. If it's bad for the card, look at buying GBP card. So that can be my view ahead of the news from Canada later today in the afternoon. All right, we'll move. Adiza, how about gold? It seems to be forming a head and shoulder. Is that correct? But news has said gold is bullish. Sorry, which news said gold is bullish? Are you talking about a fundamental report from somewhere? Okay, we'll check gold. Yes, you're correct. It's looking like, let me use a word, until it's complete. It's looking like it's forming a head and shoulder. And that's on the 4 hour. On the daily time frame, we actually have gold forming a falling wedge pattern. Now, I've said this for quite some time, trade gold with a lot of caution because at the moment, it's not really following some trading rules. Normally, when the dollar is bearish, gold should be buying. But now dollar is bearish and gold seems to be selling. One of them is not correct. One of them is not giving us the right feelers. So trade both the dollar and gold with a lot of caution. When we say trade with caution, what we mean is that when you're trading, don't just trade blindly. This is not the time to take risk. Have proper risk management plan in place just in case it didn't go as planned. That's what we mean when we say trade with caution. And we want to talk about risk management. Make sure you are not taking unnecessary risk by trading the high lot size, and make sure you have your stop loss in place. That's what we mean when we say trade with caution. Yeah, truly, this is forming, it looks like it's forming a head and shoulder. But like I said in my analysis yesterday, it only becomes valid when price breaks out below the neckline, which is this region. So we have a neckline region there. It only becomes valid when price breaks out. So if price is here to break out, well, we just keep watching it because price may drop to the tip of that neckline and may still reverse upwards since the dollar technically is selling. So don't jump into it and say, oh, it looks like a head and shoulder. Yeah, I've clarified what you said. I would say it looks like it's forming a head and shoulder, but wait for price to break out below the neckline. Let a clear new candle form below the neckline before you trigger a sell. So that's my view on gold. Okay, sorry for the time. Oh, I think for quite some minutes that chart, you guys were seeing the forest factory until I was able to switch it back. Okay, what is your view for gold long term? My view for gold long term, I don't have a long term view for gold for now. That's the truth because a lot of things, parameters I personally look out for, I'm not really seeing it on gold for now, except if price drops to this lower trend line because it's actually on an uptrend. If price drops to this lower trend line, let me see something. Okay, good. If price is able to drop to this lower trend line, then we'll have a resistance turn support that will lead to a long-term massive bullish breakout on gold. So if this head and shoulder will work, just know that it's a short term. Though that short term can actually give you a lot of pips in the real sense of it. It can give quite a lot of pips from below the neckline to that resistance turn support can give as much as close to about 300 pips. That's quite massive, you know. But then if you are talking about long-term move, that will be the bullish trend, except if price drops to this resistance turn support and now breaks it downwards. Wow, that would be a long-term massive bearish breakout if that ever happens. But let's not get ourselves boxed up with that for now. Let's look at what is obtainable in the market in the recent now. You know, let's see what happens here. If price cannot break this head and shoulder, then the next thing is that price will reverse back up. That's the next thing that will happen. You're welcome, Kellen. Sonny Chuk, Euro USD, please. As a bearish trend for the month on Euro USD finished. Let's check that. Please, this is why I had to mute everybody. Let's mute our devices. I'm getting some background noise. So Mr. Sonny Chooks is saying there's a bearish trend on Euro USD on the monthly time frame. Okay. So this is the monthly time frame. Yeah, on the monthly time frame, like you said, we had price closing at a resistance level to end last month. So technically, it was to sell this month, which is what has happened. Euro USD has sold the better part of this month. But currently, price, if you go down to the weekly time frame, current weekly candle is testing a weekly trend line, which is to push price to the bullish direction. Please pardon, I'm not saying it must get to that resistance level. I'm just giving you direction with this arrow. So this current weekly candle is testing this uptrend line, which is expected to see price go in a bullish direction. And if we flip it down to the daily time frame, we still have it very valid. Price still trading around that trend line. And we now have additional information, which is a support level here corresponding to another reason for a bullish movement. And finally, the candle for yesterday was a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, which will also lead to a bullish movement. So even though the month started on a bearish trend, currently what is obtainable in the market is a bullish movement of the Euro USD. So that's my view on the Euro USD for Mr. Sonny. All right, I think that's the last question. I've attended to all the questions. I'm not seeing any other one.
Sorry, sir. Please, did you say that if the news is bad for card, we should buy USD card? I mean, we should sell USD card and buy.
No. If the news, let me go to the two instruments.
Sorry, sir.
No, you're welcome, man. I said if the news comes out bad for card, that is card selling, then you can buy GBP card. Because GBP card is having a symmetrical triangle with the formation of what is looking like an inverse head and shoulder. So if the news comes out bad for the card, that is a red, you can buy GBP card. Now, on the other hand, for the USD card, the USD CAD is trading around the resistance level on the daily time frame. So if the news comes out good for the CAD, that is a CAD buying, then USD CAD will sell. So if the news comes out bad for the CAD, buy GBP CAD. If it comes out good for the CAD, sell USD CAD.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, BTC USD, Bello Mohammed. All right, let's check that. Now, I remember giving the analysis on this yesterday that we are expecting a bullish movement. Reason being that I cited a resistance, turn support here with a rejection candle on the daily, which will lead to a bullish breakout. And on the 4-hour, I was seeing the formation of an inverse head and shoulder. And I said, if price is able to break out above the neckline, we should look at buying BTC USD. Now, price has actually broken out above the neckline to trigger at least some bullish movements. This is 4-hour. If you flip down to 1 hour, you can see there was a clear break and some movement up there. But then a rejection candle came up last night, which is quite strange. And due to that rejection candle, it's both on 1 hour and 4-hour. This instrument seems to be experiencing a decline at the moment. Now I'm trying to see if that rejection candle is touching the daily time frame. Okay, it's at the tip. Let me check further. Okay, it actually hits the resistance on the daily time frame. So this may just change the trajectory of this instrument for now. It may be going bearish rather than bullish, at least for today. Let me use that word. It may be more getting ready for a downtrend. So let's see on 1 hour if it's possible to make an entry. All right, I can see on 1 hour that it's giving us a perfect rising wedge. What I will advise is this. We'll take this area as a support. If price breaks out below this support, then you can trigger a sell on BTC USD. And usually our confirmation is that RSI must be clearly below 50. Currently RSI is on 49, but 49 is too risky. Wait for a clear break. If a new candle opens below here, and your RSI can drop to maybe like 47, 46, 45, that would be good, to trigger a sell on BTC USD. So I'm bearish on BTC USD for this morning, at least today. Let me put it that way today. So I hope that's clear to Mr. Bello Mohammed. All right, that'll be all from our analysis this morning. Today is Friday. Next week, Friday is NFP. Let's prepare to have a funded account to join the trading session. And our trainings always continue at our offices, both in Abuja and Lagos. And make yourself available for such trainings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day too.
Have a nice day, sir.
You
Thank
too,
you
sir.
very much.
Yeah. You're welcome, Mr. Bello.